What if the richest little girl in town lost everything? Not because of fate, but because her own family betrayed her. After her parents died, 6-year-old Zara's greedy uncle burned her father's will, stole her entire inheritance, and forced her to live as a servant in the mansion that rightfully belonged to her. For years, everyone believed the lie, until one forgotten document exposed a shocking secret that sent an entire wealthy family to court. Stay until the end, because Zara's incredible journey from servant to... When little Zara was only 6 years old, her world fell apart. Her father, Chief Daniel Okoro, was one of the wealthiest businessmen in the region. He owned vast farmlands, hotels, and valuable properties across the country. Everyone believed Zara would one day inherit everything. But tragedy struck. On a rainy evening, Chief Daniel and his wife were involved in a terrible car accident. They both died before help could arrive. The funeral attracted thousands of mourners. Family members cried loudly, promising to take good care of young Zara. Among them was her father's older brother, Richard. "We'll raise her like our own daughter," he announced before everyone. People applauded his kindness. But behind closed doors, Richard had a different plan. Only a week after the funeral, he secretly entered his late brother's office. Locked inside the safe was Chief Daniel's original will. It clearly stated that every business, every house, every acre of land belonged to Zara. Richard stared at the document with greedy eyes. "If this girl grows up, everything becomes hers," he whispered. That night he burned the will. Then he bribed a dishonest lawyer to prepare a fake version. The forged document claimed Richard was now the legal owner of the entire estate until further notice. No one questioned it. The lawyer signed it. Witnesses were paid. Everything looked genuine. Within months, Richard took complete control. Luxury cars, private businesses, huge bank accounts, expensive vacations. Everything that belonged to Zara now belonged to him. Meanwhile, Zara's life changed overnight. Instead of living in the mansion, she was moved into a tiny servant's room behind the main house. She woke before sunrise every morning. She swept the compound, washed clothes, cooked meals, cleaned floors, and served the very relatives who had stolen her future. Richard's wife treated her like a stranger. Their children laughed whenever Zara wore old clothes. Servants shouldn't dream big, they often mocked. Yet Zara never became bitter. She remained respectful. She studied at night, using borrowed textbooks after finishing endless chores. Many evenings, she cried quietly while looking at a family photograph of her parents. "I'll make you proud someday," she whispered. Years passed. Richard's businesses flourished because they were built on Chief Daniel's hard work. People praised Richard as a brilliant businessman. No one knew the truth. When Zara turned 18, she wanted to attend university. Richard refused. "You belong here. We spent years feeding you. You owe us." Instead of giving up, Zara found work at a local restaurant during the evenings. She saved every coin she earned. Eventually, she enrolled in evening classes without telling anyone. Her determination impressed one of her lecturers, Professor Samuel. He noticed Zara's intelligence and kindness. One afternoon, he asked about her family. For the first time, Zara told someone everything. The wealthy father, the accident, the fake inheritance, life as a servant. Professor Samuel listened carefully. Something didn't sound right. He had once known Chief Daniel personally. The businessman had always spoken proudly about securing his daughter's future. Professor Samuel decided to investigate. He contacted an elderly retired lawyer named Mr. Benson, who had worked with Chief Daniel years earlier. At first, Mr. Benson remembered very little. But after searching through dusty storage boxes, he discovered an old notebook. Inside were handwritten notes about preparing Chief Daniel's original will. There was also one shocking sentence. Original signed will placed inside private office safe. Duplicate copy deposited with family trustee. Professor Samuel froze. A duplicate copy. Could it still exist? The search began. Weeks turned into months. Most records had disappeared. Some offices had closed. Others had been destroyed by fire. Just when hope seemed lost, they located the retired trustee living quietly in another state. The old man was nearly 90 years old. When shown Zara's childhood photograph, tears filled his eyes. "I've been waiting for someone to come." He walked slowly into his bedroom. Hidden beneath wooden floorboards was a sealed metal box. Inside lay dozens of legal documents. At the bottom rested an untouched envelope. Chief Daniel Okoro's original will. The signatures matched perfectly. The official seal remained intact. Everything Richard had claimed was a lie. Professor Samuel immediately contacted honest lawyers. The case was reopened. Richard laughed when he received the court summons. "That girl has nothing. No judge will believe her." He was wrong. During the trial, forensic experts confirmed the document was authentic. Bank records revealed suspicious payments to the lawyer who had prepared the fake will years earlier. Several former employees admitted they had been threatened into silence. Even the dishonest lawyer, now elderly and seriously ill, confessed everything before the court. "I accepted the money," he admitted. "I destroyed an innocent child's future." The courtroom fell silent. Richard's face turned pale. The judge ruled that the forged will was illegal. Every property, business, investment, and remaining asset rightfully belonged to Zara. Richard and his accomplices were convicted for fraud, forgery, conspiracy, and theft. The once powerful family left the courthouse in disgrace. News spread across the country. People who had ignored Zara for years now apologized. But Zara held no hatred. She simply smiled. "I cannot change yesterday," she said. "But I can choose what tomorrow becomes." After reclaiming her inheritance, Zara surprised everyone. She restored her parents' old mansion, not as a symbol of wealth, but as a foundation for hope. She created scholarships for children who had lost their parents. She built free schools in rural communities. She opened hospitals that treated poor families regardless of their ability to pay. She established legal aid centers to help widows and orphans protect their property from greedy relatives. Every year on the anniversary of her parents' passing, she visited their grave. She placed fresh flowers beside the headstone. "I finally kept my promise," she whispered. Years later, people no longer remembered Zara as the little servant living behind a mansion. They remembered her as the woman who turned injustice into compassion. As for Richard, he spent the rest of his life regretting the decision that destroyed his reputation. He had stolen an inheritance, but he could never steal integrity, because the truth may be buried for years. Yet sooner or later, it always finds its way into the light.